Welcome to session 2 of Reading History in the American Revolution. Last time we met, we oriented ourselves to our text sets by thinking about what were the types of things that we could study in the time leading up to the American Revolution. Today's lesson is a reminder, especially if you remember the work that we did in reading the weather, reading the world. One of the things that we learned was that you can find the main idea or think about the main idea by analyzing the text structure. And your response as to whether you're orally rehearsing your response or writing down your response to what the main idea is can also be structured like the text is structured. You know what I mean. Let me remind you that the main text structures that we tend to see in nonfiction reading include chronological or sequential, cause and effect structure, problem solution structure, which as we've talked about is a type of cause and effect, and compare and contrast. And as always, we have the classic boxes and bullets. So today what I want to show you is that your American Revolution texts are often going to take these structures, and as you're taking notes, your notes often want to reveal the same structure that the text had. Here's a tip. A lot of history texts tend to take these three structures. They tend to take chronological, sequential, cause and effect, or problem and solution. That isn't to say you won't see the other structures available, but be on a special lookout for those three. To get started, we're going to watch a video, Liberty Kids, of a scene where Sam Adams is talking to people in an ale house about all of the intolerable acts. So let's watch it and see if we can name, or watch me name, the structure that I see, and then I'm going to take notes on it.
Cradled in your own arms.
Gentlemen of Boston, the hour has arrived. Please, gentlemen, you know me as Sam Adams, neighbor and friend. Hear me now. Parliament continues to treat us with ill will. First, the Sugar Act raised our taxes. Did we have a say? The answer is nay. Then, the horrid Stamp Act nearly drove us to ruin. And who can forget our brothers who lost their lives in the Boston Massacre? And now, Governor Hutchinson insists on collecting Parliament's tea tax. But did we have a vote? No!
Okay. So, as we think about that, I want to think about what that structure was. One thing that I noticed right away were some of those transition words that really popped out to me when he was saying, first this, then that. So to me, that would follow a chronological structure. And I can take my notes. I could take my notes like a timeline, or I could take my notes any way that would show 1, 2, 3, 4, that would show, or I could say first, then, next, after that. There's a lot of different ways. So I'm going to try maybe a timeline, right, of some of the things that Sam Adams was talking about. Let's see here. And maybe I sort of title it saying, Sam Adams hated the intolerable acts. And then I might say first, what was the first one he said? First, it was like the Sugar Act that he didn't like. Then he said the Stamp Act. And now he's talking about the tea tax. And he even, mentioned that between these were like the Boston Massacre. So I might even, I don't know, I'm thinking about different ways I could create these notes. Maybe I start making a timeline of all the different events that occurred. And of course, you know that there's more than one way to take notes. Some of you are taking notes because this is the best way that you learn, by writing them down. And others of you might take notes by putting in a Google Doc. So it might look like this. Take a look at this. Notice how I just showed the sequential or chronological nature of the text structure by just saying 1, 2, 3. So notice I had two different ways. Here's a timeline, and here's a 1, 2, 3. Both of them show text structure of chronological, which is the idea. We're trying to think of main ideas and the ways in which we can write down main ideas using text structure. So today, as you continue researching in your topic, in your subtopic, in your time period, whether it's the Intolerable Acts, French and Indian War, Boston Massacre, Boston Tea Party, or Paul Revere's Ride, see if you can note in certain sections how it's structured, and then your notes can mimic that structure in different ways. I'll see you later online. Good luck. Have fun.